Welcome everybody to tonight's Redox Talk. My name is Sally Dymond. I'm a double diamond with ASEA and have been with the company for about 4 years. My background is in alternative medicine. For 28 years I've been dealing with bodies and people and pain and all sorts of different areas and fields, from athletics to babies, old people. So tonight we have a guest, and I've actually recorded it because the time zone was not correct for her. And she has a really, really great story. Her name is Nicholah Gaines, and I'll be playing that recording in just a short moment. So the purpose of tonight's call is to share a story of how redox has changed someone's life. And this particular lady, I'll just mute someone who's come on there. So if you can all just mute as you're coming online, please. She's a mother of 4 children, and she was completely exhausted. So I know fatigue is a really, really big problem out there. If you were to ask 10 people how their energy was, I'm pretty sure 8 or 9 of them would tell you they're struggling with their energy. So we have a breakthrough technology here tonight. Someone's invited you to listen to this recording and this call, or maybe the replay, or maybe you're watching online. And I want you to just sit back and maybe just take a listen. Some of you are skeptical. I was certainly skeptical for 9 months, and I sat in that Facebook group, Renew with Redox, for about 9 months, kind of not believing anything that I saw. It all sounded too good to be true. And really there's, I believe only 1 or 2 really great opportunities that'll come past you in your lifetime, and I really do believe this is one of them. It certainly has been for us as a family, and I'm glad I finally got off the skeptical fence and dived in and really took a good hard look at it and continued to use it throughout, all sorts of different things that we tested and tried it on. And now today, these products, particularly the Renew 28 gel, it's the only product we use on our body for pretty much everything, from acute to chronic to anything in between. So if you've got a tube at home and you're not using it, start using it and testing it, particularly on your children. They don't have a filter usually, and they don't have a brain that goes in overdrive. They'll tell you if it's working, and they'll tell you if it's not. So I always say kids are a really good test and a good testament to testing something. And particularly in my house, the kids just kept coming back and asking for more. So, that was good enough for me, and it was taking care of lots of different aches and pains and ailments that came up. So we're talking about redox signaling technology. The person that invited you will share more detailed information, because tonight is really a chat and a discussion with someone who's had an experience. But we're going right down into the cell, and what we're talking about, redox signaling molecules, is the essence of our being and our cells. So the company was able to stabilize these molecules, our redox molecules, and the main function that all you have to really remember is that they detect, repair, replace, and protect on that cellular level. So it works on every system of the body. If you can touch your problem, then you need to apply the gel to that area of your body, whether it's an internal area, say it's your digestive system that's not working, you're simply putting the gel on your stomach and you're doing it over and over. It's not like putting it on once is going to fix a problem that's been there for a little while. It's like taking a pill out of a pill packet. You don't go to the doctor and get a whole prescriptive medicine and only take 1 or 2 doses of it. You take it for the prescribed amount of time. So if we're dealing with something that's chronic, that's been in your body for a long time, you are going to be doing it for a period of time. And when you start using it, 10% of people will get a result in the first week, and about 90% of people will get a result in 3 months. So we always say you really need to use this for a good 3, I often say 6 months, for it to really get in and you start to feel the benefits. So without going on in too much greater detail, I'm going to start the recording here so that you can all see this great story. Now let's hope that this is going to work for me here. That's not it. Okay, just give me 1 second here. I'm going to close this down. Oh, and you know what? I just had it open, so this is kind of embarrassing.
Happens to the best of us.
Ah, I'm so mad because It was actually on my Zoom account, and I thought I downloaded it. Now Justin, can I make you host here? Oh gosh. And
you can, but I'm on my phone.
Okay, yeah, but no, that's okay. If I actually just log out for 1 second and then log in to get this recording off. You know what? If you give me one second,
it'll mess up the Facebook Live and the recording.
1 second.
So, how is everyone going? Who's got a 2-minute amazing redox story to share? Any volunteers?
I did save it on a USB, so.
You said what?
I've saved it on a USB.
Oh, okay, cool. It's like a video.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Good work.
So sorry, everybody.
Fine.
You've got it all set.
Very exciting. Convention is not far away. Hope those of you that are coming along, you've got your costumes for the disco party. Should be a ball on Saturday night. Also, I hope the all Shine Bright team members are registered for the team party on the Friday night. Hope you can make that. There's going to be quite a few corporate guests there, actually.
Okay, we're on. I fixed it. Can everyone see? All right, so here we go. Here is our special guest, Nicholah Gaines from New Zealand. She's from Invercargill.
Okay, so tonight we have Nicholah Gaines from New Zealand, and we pre-recorded this because the time zone was not very good for us for this evening's presentation. So I'd like to introduce to you Nicholah Gaines. She's from Invercargill in New Zealand, and I first met Nicholah when I was there just this last trip, but she has a really great story to share. So welcome to the call, Nicholah. Thanks for joining. And we have Dawn with us as well, and she's one of Dawn's people. So Nicholah, maybe just start from the beginning and tell us a little bit about when you started to feel unwell and, symptoms and what you did on that journey before you found ASEA.
Okay. So back earlier this year, I become unwell, very fatigued, lots of body aches. I was surviving life on Panadol. It got worse and worse, and I never spoke to family or friends about how unwell I was because I was frightened of actually what was wrong with me. So in the end, I was taking off work. I'm a school teacher. I'm a mother of 4 children, and I was more or less functioning to be able to go to work, and then I would come home and fall asleep on the couch, and my children were running my household. It got worse and worse to the point I was off work for quite some time. So friends started noticing, so I went to my doctor. I went in with an A4 piece of paper with a lot of symptoms that I had been suffering for about 4 months, from fatigue, body aches, not being able to go to the toilet properly, quite a bit of weight gain, and lots of foggy eyes. So when I went to the doctor and explained what was going on, his words to me was, "Nicholah, I'm throwing the medical book at you." And I was unsure what that meant, and he explained to me that he didn't know what was wrong with me, and we were just going to have to eliminate things. They first started with a round of bloods, so I left the doctor that day with more or less Panadol, a form to go and get bloods done, and time off work. So I went and got the bloods done, and then I come back, my bloods were clear, so I then said to my doctor, well, what next? And he told me he was booking me for an urgent MRI and CT scan. it's 20 weeks to date that I have been on that waiting list and still haven't heard anything, but am not concerned because now I've obviously found ASEA. But in that time of going to the doctor, I get progressively worse, where the fatigue and the body aches got worse. So on a Friday, I would get home from work, I would sit on a couch and I would fall asleep, and my children physically couldn't wake me. I was off work it was my daughter's birthday and it was her 16th, and I knew that I had to drag myself out of bed. I had started setting an alarm clock on my phone to wake me an hour before I knew my children were going to be awake, so that I could dose myself with Panadol and Nurofen to be able to put my feet on the floor for the day. And I knew that I had to get up for her 16th. I had to take her into town. When I was in town, I bumped into a friend, and she said to me, "Nicholah, have you been unwell?" And I said, "Yes," and we just got talking. And she mentioned Dawn's name to me. So I come home, had to think about it, sent Dawn a message, and that was where I found Dawn. So I went to Dawn on the 22nd of May this year, and had a treatment with Dawn. We had a chat and then had a treatment, and within that I did 3 more treatments with Dawn. On my second treatment, she had mentioned ASEA to me. I left and didn't really think a lot of it until I went back on the last time, and I said, "Dawn, can you explain the ASEA a bit further to me?" So she talked to me about it. She gave me the testimonial book on it, and I came and read it. And straight away I was like, right, I have to give this a go. So once I spoke to Dawn, the money for me was very concerning. I was concerned about how I was going to afford this. So I said to myself, I'll give it 3 months. Since then, the money has not been a concern to me. Money for ASEA always turns up, and I'm lucky enough to be able to continue to purchase it. But because of the ASEA and my lifestyle change, this is supported with this. So some of the changes for me on ASEA have been, I don't have to go to the doctor. I have no need to go to the doctor. I don't have to buy Panadol anymore. I've suffered chronic heartburn for 4 years. Since being on ASEA, I have taken no heartburn medication, so I'm not having to go back and get scripts from the doctor. My diet has changed completely. I struggle to eat anything or drink anything with a sugar content in it. The sugar seems to be something that I really notice. So really, from starting from ASEA, I've kept a bit of a diary, and I started it on the 1st of June this year, and I take it morning and night, and I take the 60 mils. So I started it on a Saturday, and the 7 days later, I got out of bed in the morning. I got up, I cleaned my house from the ceiling to the floor. I mowed lawns. I cleaned my car inside and outside, and that was something I had not been able to do for months. My energy level is unbelievable. My ability to go to bed and fall to sleep, I could lie in bed and still be thinking about work at 3 o'clock in the morning and getting up at 6 o'clock to start my day again. I go to work and I come home and I don't think about work. Home's home, work's work. But because of my head clarity, I've been able to put things where they should be in my life. My sleeping is amazing. Work colleagues have noticed, family have noticed, but especially my children have noticed my temperament. I used to get quite anxious. I was someone that didn't like change of routine. Everything had to happen when it was meant to, and if it didn't, by golly gosh, our house was hard to live in. Whereas I think I'm calmer. I can compartmentalise a lot easier. But one of the hugest things for me with ASEA has been my clarity and some of the choices that I've now been able to make in my life. I'm nearly 43, and for the first time in my life, I am happy with who I am. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I had a family member in my life that I had no contact with for 22 years, and have recently made contact and have started to renew our relationship. I believe this ASEA has contributed to helping me be able to do this with how clear my head is.
Wow, it's fantastic. I love hearing stories like this. So, for the people sitting out there wondering if will it work for them, what would you say to them?
Absolutely. Give it, try it. It is something now that will be part of my life forever. Like I say, the money was a concern to me. It is certainly not a concern now. I just make it work. It's become, part of my grocery bill, really. I'm not buying the same amount of stuff I was in groceries because I don't have the same. I think at times I was emotionally eating, which I don't do now, which has allowed me savings in my groceries to contribute to buying it. And since then, when I first started ASEA, I could only buy the drink. I really wanted to try the cream, but I could only afford the drink for the first month. And so I had it in a spray bottle. I would pour a little bit in a spray bottle. So in the morning and night, I would spritzer it on my face. My youngest son ran across country at school, and he come home and he had an earache. Obviously, the cold wind had shot straight through his ears. And I said to him, look, lay down on Mum's knee and I'll spray some of this. And he was very reluctant to what I was spraying in his ear, but he sat straight up and he went, Mum, my earache's gone. What is in that magic water? So my kids are on board with it now. I've since purchased the skincare as well, and I have noticed amazing difference in my skin. My daughter said to me the other day, Mum, your skin looks different. I had fine lines above my top lip that were something that really annoyed me. They are certainly still there, but they are disappearing rather quickly.
Fantastic. Well, you look great from when I last saw you. You look smiling and happy and radiant, and you can always tell someone that's drinking the liquid because they just come alive in every aspect, from their eyes to their glow, the colour of their skin, and it's awesome to hear your story. So I think you pretty much covered everything there from start to finish, and the difference in 3 months that you can make to your life is really just by giving something a go. So like we said, it's completely safe. It's 100% exactly what your body makes, so you can't react to it. And the beautiful thing for Nicholah is that she's been able to stop taking a lot of those medications that she was taking, and now she's putting something into her body that's clean, natural, and just helping her body do what it does best, and that's to detect, repair, replace, and heal on every level. So I want to thank you for joining us tonight, Nicholah, and for sharing your story. I know it will help many, many people. And thanks for sharing the molecules with everyone you meet as well. So
thank you, Sally.
I will stop the recording here.
Okay, so are we still there? Thankfully that worked. Yay! Stop the share.
That was cool.
Great story, Sally.
Oh, Nicolah's even there. Is that?
Oh, there she is.
She's still awake. All right, has anyone got any questions for Nicholah?
Yeah, I'd just like, Nicholah, that's an amazing result. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I mean, your children have their mum back. You've got your life back. But I just want to confirm that the drink, the level you were taking, was that 60 mils twice a day?
Yes, yeah, morning and night.
Yeah, beautiful. Amazing result with that, and so quickly as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Gosh. And this is why you're up tonight, because you're on ASEA. You don't need to be in bed at 9. What is it? It's 10 o'clock over there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done. I relate to your story. I had a story similar, but yeah, so I kind of know where you were. Thank you.
Horrible place.
Yeah, it's pretty awful, dragging yourself through life. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicholah. Thanks.
That was awesome, Nicholah. I want to thank you. It's Justin from Bribey here, because you just reminded me so often I talk to people, and I know when I was sick, I couldn't afford anything either. My budget was really low, and I often recommend that 120 mils twice a day, which is, you know, an ideal amount when people are really sick. But I think often people are turned off because they just feel like they can't afford that. And your story and what you just shared with Janine, you're on 60 mils twice a day or 2 ounces twice a day, just really helps me realize I've got to emphasize to people, any redox is better than none. And
Absolutely.
if they can't afford the 120, do the 60 twice a day, because we still see miracles with that. So thank you so much for sharing your great story.
No problem. Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, I think when you're severely depleted and you put just a little bit in, if you can recognize within your body, you know, different signs and symptoms and really be watching, you can feel and see a difference. And it just depends on, you know, how quickly you want to see a change then. And I often say to people, instead of buying a bottle of wine or buying something for $50, just think of it as a bottle of ASEA and just drink it quickly, one bottle over a few days, and just see what that really does to you. I'm pretty sure you don't get hungover like you do on a bottle of wine. You know,
No.
a bottle of ASEA, it's the opposite. So, you know, it's often when I talk to clients about their gluten intolerances or, you know, telling people to stop doing something, it sends shudders up people's spine. Like, what am I going to eat? I'm going to starve. And I say, well, just overdose on it and then tell me how you feel, you know. So someone that says they don't want to stop eating gluten, I go, well, go for it. Breakfast, lunch, dinner for 4 days straight, gorge yourself on gluten and tell me how your guts feel. And, you know, or either stop it for 4 days and see how you feel. And it's the same with ASEA, you know, overdose on it for 4 days and just see what happens. It's not going to hurt you. And I know it's going to make a big difference when you get a good dose. So when you tell someone it could be for a long term on a high dose, it can scare them. Tell them to do a high dose for a short term, a really high dose, and just see what that does. So I don't know if anyone else has any questions there for Nicholah. You can unmute yourself and ask away.
Thanks, Dawn, for being a great ambassador for sharing the molecules and helping Nicholah. Champion work, Dawn. You're a hero.
Bottom of the world down there in Invercargill. So I might just stop the recording here. Oh, how do I do that, Justin? It's not letting me stop it. Oh, because I made you host. Okay. Let's go. Can you stop the recording, Justin?